Hello everyone, this will be a quick lesson about the hovering effect we spoke about last lesson. So I'll start with creating a new blueprint class, and this will be an actor blueprint. I'll call it BP hover. Okay, so blueprint hover, and I will open it up. Now in here, as I said before, we can create anything here, like a box or anything, and then replace it with anything we want, like stones or what have you, when we import assets. So I will add a cube. I'll scale down this cube, so I'll scale it down from all sizes first, and then make it elongated. This is just to see the proportions and where the rotation axis is happening, nothing more than that. Oops. Okay, so the next step is I have my box in place. Maybe I will, I'll raise it up to the ground. So I will move this up and raise it just above the ground. Doesn't really need to be precise because you can place your blueprint anywhere in your scene, and it will hover wherever you want it to hover. Okay, so next step, event graph. So I want this to start animating as soon as I play, as soon as the game is played. So when the game begins. So event begin play, I want this to be animated. So I will add a timeline. I will call this, I don't know, hover timeline or something. Hover timeline or TL hover TL, whatever. Okay, and this timeline will change the location of the box, so it will go up and down, and that's changing the location on the z-axis. So we'll add a set relative location for the cube, and it will automatically add the cube as a target for this. Okay, so the location now has an X, Y, and Z, and I would want this animation to happen on the Z-axis. So I'll go inside the timeline by double-clicking it, and I add a track. Now I'll add a vector track. You can add a float track and connect that to the Z-axis, but just for demonstration's sake, I will add a vector track. Now in the vector track, I only want to use the Z-axis. But maybe in the future I want it to move on the X or Y axis, but I will have access to these. So I will lock down the X and Y and leave only Z unlocked. I will actually change the name of this by pressing F2. I'll change the name of this track to I don't know, hover animation or something, right? Or cube hover, you can call it whatever you want. And now I have the Z unlocked. Right click anywhere near 0, add a keyframe on 0 seconds, and the value of this should be 0. So it starts from the beginning. And I will change the duration of this to 5 seconds is too much, maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Okay, so I'll do 4. And then I'll zoom out a little bit, move this to all the way to the end of the animation, and right click, add a track here at 4 seconds, 4 seconds. And the value here, I will say, let's say 50. Okay, so that's 50 actual units because we're using a vector track, as opposed to a float unit where we use zeros and ones for the number of times that the animation happens. I think this is easier for rotation, for location. This is much easier to do. It's much more intuitive. Okay, so I want to look at my entire animation, so I'll press these buttons to zoom in on all my animation. Everything is fine here. Now I'll go back to my event graph. And let's just see what this does. Put that in the other screen. And I have to drag my blueprint in my scene. So I'll drag it here and I'll play and see what happens. nothing happens because I did not connect the output of the animation to the new relative location. So now if I play this, I'll compile and save it. Now if I play this, it should work. Okay, so it goes up 50 units and it stops. Okay, so now I want it to loop, go up and down endlessly. To do that, let's just move this to the side. To do that, I'll take a copy of all these nodes and duplicate all these nodes, put it down here, because now what I want to do is create some looping logic. So when this animation is finished, I want it to reverse from the end, so it will go from 50 to 0, and then when this is finished, I want it to go to play from start. Okay, so this creates this looping animation, and now I'll compile and save this. Play, and now we should have the box going up and down endlessly. Okay, going up 50 and down 50. Now we can see that the box is going under the ground, so I can raise this up, play it again. Okay, so it will be hanging in the air. So you just drag the blueprint up, and now it's just hovering in the air. Okay, now if I want to add rotation movement to this, it's pretty simple. Can go back to my viewport or even go wherever. So in the components here, I will add a new component, and the component is called a rotator. Is this called? Yeah, rotating movement, sorry. Whatever, rotate something. I'm not going to change the name of this thing. And the only thing I want to change here is the rotation rate and the properties, which appears to be 180 now, which is quite fast. So I'll give it some slow movement, something like 30 or something. And this basically rotates the whole blueprint. Okay, so I'll play that. And now we have this hovering animation. Of course, you can enhance this animation with ease in, ease out, stuff like that. But for now, this is the basic animation.